We are live. Okay, well, welcome, Facebookers and YouTubers and my in-person people. Thank you for being here. We are continuing our New Year, New You, New Book event, and again, we have had a full day of some wonderful speakers and authors sharing their books on today. And we're going to continue on with Shauneille Smith, Shauneille, I said Shauneille Smith, Empowered for Your Journey. Um, Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. So Shauneille, just kind of tell us a little bit about you. Like, where are you from?
Okay.
What's your story?
Well, thank you so much again for having me. Thanks to all of you for listening. I'm originally from New Jersey. And yes, I am from New Jersey. For those of you who have you ever seen the movie Lean on Me? Anybody?
Yes. I love Joe. Pastor
Joe Clark.
Clark. Yeah.
That's the high school that I graduated from.
Wow.
That's the high school that I graduated from. And if you're familiar with that movie, they didn't expect anything from anybody. And that will lead. I'm gonna go into my story because that school was built on a cemetery called the Ghost. And I like to say, just like the Ghost, I arose. I refused to be stigmatized by their expectations. So in my career, what I noticed was that I never had enough. I was always asked, I need your ideas. We need you on this board. We need you on that board. But when I would apply for a better job, pay more money, I was always told no. But then I remember being in Walmart one day and I had change. And maybe some of you can identify. I had a thing of change and I to pay for my groceries. And there was a long line of people sighing real loud, waiting for me to get out of their way.
You come all these quarters.
And I remember this man and his little boy, and he was like, kids, they're very blunt. And then the guy looked at him. That's when parents were parent back in that day. He looked at him and said, shut up. And he said, take your time. That situation, and along with other situations at work, was my turning point. I realized that at that time, I had to be the one for change. I was laughing at one of the previous authors said about Miles Monroe, you will continue to endure that you don't change, pain is, so I began to take that as a moment for change for myself. So I began to research options and assess what are the best options for me and take an inventory of myself of, okay, what do I want? What is the what salary is going to get me out of this place of living paycheck to paycheck? Because it's a process. There's research and accessing. And I pray to God because I'll be honest, I was looking for so many different people. Can you help me? Because they have the appearance. The appearance of having it all together. But I believe that God used that as a time to draw me to him so I can say that he's the one who allowed me to get where I am today, which thank God, I am so far from, I've exceeded where I was that day. I currently am emergency manager working on a federal level as today. So so that was one of the points that drove me today where I vowed to God, I said, if you help me, I will assist others in helping them. So I created resources by way of literature, programs, in the area of personal development because I had to know my value. That was the first speaker. You need to know your value. And I sensed within myself that there was more inside of me, and there's a reason why everybody keeps pulling. That's value that they saw, but I had to realize the value, you know, within me. So I had to assess that and not just acknowledge it, but do the work, doing the research, looking at the options, and going forward with that. So that's what I have attempted, you know, to do by way of personal development, staff development, and just also some background of how far I've come. I am a visionary, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and my credentials consist of working in training administration within the state, within private sector, public sector, and government for over 15 years. I'm younger than what I'm older than what I look. I'm a lover of progress, and I love to make people think.
Okay, you so bubbly.
Okay.
Love your energy. I need some of it. Okay, so empowered for your journey. So tell us about your book. It looked like it's a journal. It's very detailed.
Yes, it is a guided journal.
What's your motivation behind this? What started this?
Well, my motivation behind having a guided journal is because I found journaling to be very beneficial with next steps. From a biblical perspective, it says write the vision and make it plain. So you have to write things down. And anything research shows repetition, you write it down in order so you can see it. And then you have to take action. And then I always say there's a process to progress. Nowadays, people act like everything happens so quick. That maybe for some that happens, but that's not the case for the majority of the people. So I created this because I didn't see one as detailed as this. So this is a book about you discovering you. I always say social media, they emphasize what you should look like, what you should be, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to eliminate, be honest, and then see what works, what doesn't work, eliminate what doesn't work, implement the things that you found to work for you, and then keep going. And this is 7 months. Then in the last 3 months, you continue the process, starting over with the things that you've learned about you.
Okay, and I love your her topics here. I like that. You got of course, you're dealing with the power focus. Okay, and then you got to deal with mindset, and of course, communication, effective communication.
Yes.
And transform your environment.
Yes.
Yeah, you talk about that. Awareness, relationships, time management, budgeting and money. And I like this, a year of intentionality.
Yes.
Yes. So if you were to just share with us from one of your chapters, which one you think would speak more?
Well,
you want to share with us?
Well, I believe I believe transforming your environment and cultivating growth and thriving, because your environment you can grow the environment that you place. We're all like seeds. Where you plant yourself, the soil of that environment will allow you to grow and push you forward and making a positive impact in your family, your community, and your organization. Or if it's not healthy, you can become stagnated. You can see your gifts and your talents used, or shall I say abused.
Mm.
A perfect way that I think that I wanted to actually share as it relates to this particular journal emphasizes the importance of you, your environment, your mindset. I believe it when you see yourself from a your thinking, when you see yourself as high value, which is what Marcus mentioned, the environments that you choose changes. You're no longer settling. A lot of us heard VIP. If no one has ever told you, you are a VIP. You heard the term very important person, but I say you are a person and you have high value. You have a distinct identity and you have a purpose. And that is what is encompassed in this chapter and throughout the
journal.
Okay.
Okay. And here you were saying how toxic environments can hinder your growth and drain your energy. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so she has it where you're doing a lot of writing in her journal. Okay. I mean, you have a lot of questions here.
Yes, and it goes back to what the previous author was saying, the importance of meditation. When you meditate, and regardless of what your religion is, in that quiet time, when you are transparent with yourself, there are thoughts that will come to you that you need to write down. There are questions that will provoke you in the various different areas so that you can write down and say, hey, in the area of communication, no, it's not them, it's me. Okay, well, maybe I am a bit close. Maybe it's something that happened when I was a child that I am still struggling with today, that I have not been healed from, that I've never dealt with. Honesty and growth begins when you learn who you are. You have to be honest with who you are, because people can see your gifts. As I shared with my story, people saw my gift, but it was when I began to take action and realize the gifts that God had placed within me, and then take, not just realize it, but take action and start my process to progress. See, I'm a Christian, so I see God, and I went through the process, and that's how my process began.
This is a beautiful, beautiful product. I love this. This is a great book. If you get a chance, definitely stop by her table and check out her book. It's very thorough. I am loving this journal, actually. I'm going to have to get this because she really breaks down. You have your weekly, you have your daily, weekly, monthly goals. You got your deadlines. It's just very thorough. And I think you did an outstanding job. And is this for a whole year?
That is a 7 month, because as I stated,
okay.
The first 7 months you're going through trial and error. Okay. For some, they have to stop faking and begin to be honest, and then do the process of elimination. Okay. And so you can eliminate what doesn't work and implement what does work. Okay. And then go from there. There's like some things that I want to share that will kind of help the significance of why you should take the time to discover yourself. I believe that many a times when you don't know your value, you not knowing your value decreases the opportunities for you. It allows you the temptation to settle, because in my job, I had the titles, and people were like, well, why can't you just settle? You have the title, but I was unfulfilled. And I was struggling. I wasn't broadcasting it, but I was really struggling. Mm-hmm. So when I decided to make a change, when I decided that, I had to be honest with myself. So that's why transparency is necessary. Not knowing your purpose, not paying attention to what is consistently requested of you as it relates to your thought process, as it relates to your giftings, as it relates to your talents, it often results in you settling for less than what you were created to be. When I say that you are a VIP, it's realizing that you are we're just when you speak, your voice distinctively speaks to your location, where you were born, your purpose in life. Your voice speaks to it, which is why silencing is so important has been very key. Silencing of history. Silencing of the history of where your ancestors were and what they've accomplished and what they've done. Silencing is part of you not knowing who you are. If you think about it, social media had, well, I'm gonna back, and I'm sorry, I'm taking over, but I just
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
I was looking up identity and I found it interesting. When I looked up identity, it means sameness, essential character, collateral, distinguishing character, the fact of being. So, have you ever wondered why in marketing, social media, so much money is invested in how you look, what you should be like? Have you ever wondered why in the Bible Eve was told why she wouldn't be? Have you ever wondered why the fight to keep the family together has been going on for decades? It's not a coincidence. In my opinion, when you see multiple generations, you see patterns. That's what I want you to remember. Patterns. You have to pay attention to the patterns in your life. When you look at these things, you see patterns of gifts and talents and abilities from generation to generation that is meant to continue to grow, to build legacy. Separation from the family, it creates and it extends the time to wonder, who am I? What is my purpose? And what am I capable of doing? And what will I do with my life? That is why you see a lot of suicide currently today, even among kids. Part of it. So knowing what is possible for you and knowing your history speaks to what has been done, while God speaks to what you will be. That is why listening is very important. So I need you to realize that your voice has power. And your voice is a sound that produces an opinion of, your voice speaks to a particular issue and addresses issues in your family, your community, and your organization. Your voice, it exposes verbal, emotional, and physical abuse of power. When you speak, God gives you influence to the people that are assigned to your voice. When you silence people, it infiltrates within the community, organizations, and continues the number of victims in unhealthy environments.
Okay. Now, I want to say, so you're saying all this to say that your voice can be found through your journal. Is that what you're telling me?
The voice and your purpose.
Purpose. Okay.
And your identity.
Okay.
Taking the time to get to know you, getting to know how your voice, you play your role in your family. Because if you think about it, in every family, there's people that go along, get along. There's people that see issues. There's people that see needs. And they see, those who just ignore it. But when you know your role, when you take the time to get to know you in all aspects, you know the value, the high value that you bring in your family, community, organization. And I was just trying to pair the two of history, definition, biblical, social media of what's going on today in explaining the importance of why I think it's about my book has value and how it applies to you.
Okay, so we finally got there. All right. Okay, so any questions for Shauneille? This is, though, seriously, she did a great job with this journal. It's a beautiful, beautiful journal. I love it. I really do. Very thorough. And so, do y'all have any questions for her? Because she's definitely empowered for her journey. Okay. Okay. All right. So, is there any? So, won't you quickly tell us how we can reach you? What's the best way to contact you? All your credentials, your socials, and all that.
Okay. Well, I can be reached at shauneillesmith.com, which is my website, where I also have on IG as well, Shauneille the Motivational Instructor. I am Shauneille the Motivational Instructor, and I hope I made you think. So on my website, it has all of my social media handles there. And this was just voted as the best international journal. So Amazon is in the process of implementing that. So yay!
Awesome. Okay, wonderful. Love your energy. Okay, so definitely stop by her table, check out her book. Facebookers and YouTubers, make sure you stop by the doc and get your copy of Empowered for Your Journey. It's a wonderful gift too. Wonderful gift. Yes. So give her a hand. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you, Shauneille. All right. Next up will be our vegan. Well, I don't even have my phone with me, so but it's our you got the schedule? We in this together.
That's right. We achieve more together.
There it is. So our next one is, it's been a full day. We had, for those who are just tuning in, we had Marcus Hill earlier, and Nikki was interesting with building a home, and Dr. Hugh with fasting and prayer, and we just had the wonderful Shauneille Smith, Empowered for Your Journey. And now the vegan remix, that's going to be at 5 o'clock. Afia and Bo.
Oh, you want to use mine too?
Come here, Chuck. Okay, yeah. At 5 o'clock, going to have Afia. All right. The vegan remix. All right. There's your phone. Don't forget your phone.